Well, hello, everybody. Good evening and good afternoon. My name is Melody McAllister, and welcome to my book chat. And today I have an amazing friend with me. She is somebody that I got to meet in 2019 at our glorious Philly EST. And we hit it off, and I'm just so glad. Amanda, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I am always doing great when I get to see you. And I thank you for being on my book chat today. I know last week we had to reschedule because of the crazy stuff happening in our country. And it's not that much more sane, but we're gonna highlight the good stuff that's still happening. And so tell everybody where you're coming in from tonight.
So I'm coming in from Louisville, Kentucky, technically Prospect, which is a little north of Louisville. So I'm happy to be here and talk about my books and also my upcoming book, Marker Town.
Yes, and congratulations. Number one, congratulations on this being your third book, and congratulations because you did a Kickstarter last week and you are more than halfway, I believe. I feel like I checked out, like you're more than halfway there to your goal.
I am
awesome.
Right at halfway there. So it's been a great week. It's been booming. We've started the plateau, so I know we'll make it to the finish line, and whether we make it or not, our first print run has been sponsored by the Virtual World Society by Tom Furness. He is considered the grandfather of virtual reality and has kindly come in and would love to make sure that Marker Town gets in as many hands as possible. So.
Yes. And so, guys, I am a privileged person here tonight because I have got to read Marker Town. I have got to go through all of the changes with Amanda. She has been wonderful to share all that with me, and I cannot wait to hold it myself. And I backed you. I am one of the top supporters and always will be for sure. Like, I'll beat you if you think you are. No, I'm just joking. But, and thank you wherever you're streaming in from, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. We have prizes tonight. And so we're just going to be picking random people. If you comment, and the more that you comment, the more likely that you will actually be picked tonight. And before we get to your newest release, let's talk about, so in 2019, when I met you, you actually had just released 2 books. And the first one was this amazing book, Teaching Land. And tell us a little bit about it and how relevant it is today.
So I joke with everyone that Teaching Land is a book before its time. It came out in 2019. It is a book that critiques the accountability of teachers and how stakes have risen over the years, from A Nation at Risk to No Child Left Behind. And it opens with Ground Zero, which is a critique on educational policy and how these policies have impacted our classrooms, and then the grassroots movement that is starting in the classrooms of teachers really trying to get students engaged in creating and becoming creators of content versus consumers. So Teaching Land is a tongue-in-cheek parody. It's got a zombie theme, and it is about bottom tiff, a virus that plagues the education system. So yeah, it was fiction when I wrote it. Now I think we need to recategorize, the each chapter intro drew the parallels and the metaphors from each zombie film. So there's Colleagues and Land of the Living versus Land of the Dead. There's Warm Bodies, which talks about the classrooms or the kids in the classroom. World War E, which is what we're fighting now. But yeah, with the coronavirus, or COVID-19, it's very applicable. I like to say I took a DeLorean back when I wrote this from 2022 to give teachers a tool that was already there when COVID hit. But in the book, we use the REMEDY acronym to reach our students, engage them with different platforms and educational tools that having students make, how to evaluate students in meaningful ways. There's a whole chapter on assessment. And the grade and grown assembly line. We don't want to hand work back to students where once they get the grade, on the way you put it in their hands and the assembly line is directly to the trash can.
Right.
I try to have students create things that when I hand it back, or they ask, when am I going to get that poster I made back? I want to take that home.
Right.
So, and then
which is awesome because they took a lot of pride in that creation.
Yeah. Or What could I do with this outside of the classroom? We just did food sagas.
Right.
And oh yeah, there we go. So warm bodies
Warm
in
bodies.
action.
There we go. For the
Yeah,
love of learning. I love it.
but I think the most valuable tool in this entire book is our monster tech table. So our monster tech table is it's our personalized learning
Mhm.
chapter, and there's a monster tech table with 80 plus apps, websites, and each one of them aren't just a tool or a fad. They're linked to a strategy, and then they're aligned by grade level. Like if you want to do this with your students, these are apps that can, so the strategy comes before the tech. So
Right.
I highly recommend grabbing it, if not just for that. And then we have design thinking challenges in the
Yes,
book.
I was gonna say, it's amazing.
Yeah,
All these
so
challenges. You've got exit tickets in here. I mean, any educator would love to have this. Is it for educators of all grade class, like from K through 12?
K through 12. And the beautiful thing about the maker challenges in the book, they follow the design thinking process, which kind of segues into the next book. But all of the
Right.
content, everything fits in a Ziploc bag. So everything that you could that you need, all the materials and supplies, and it has the supply list on the design challenge, and it's got like a teacher guide. The teacher guide, or the ones that are printed in the book, are more, I think, for the teacher to follow, and then they can be translated into what students do. So
Right. That is so cool, and I love it. And so somebody can actually win this amazing book tonight, and you have to be within the United States though, because right now, yeah. So if you would like to win this, make sure that you comment. The more you comment, the more likely you are to win. And we are so thankful that you are here tonight. And so she's right. So like a month after she published this in 2019, I'm so sorry if you can hear my kids crying. We got some zombies going on. This actually accompanies. This is like the children's version because you actually introduced zombie. You actually introduced them into your first book in Teaching Land, and so
yeah. So the all the design challenges, this book helps kind of launch each one by teaching or demystifying, which is our D of remedy, the design thinking process or the learning process that students go through and adults go through whenever they're creating a prototype or going through the ideation process. So taking an idea from concept to actual execution. And I want to give a shout out to the tech rabbi. Michael Cohen has a great book, Educated by Design. And one of my favorite quotes from that book is creativity is a mindset, not an art set. And just that has resonated with me. Yeah, that quote right there has resonated with me. But
I have that book, and it is a great one. I would show it also.
So while Teaching Land's a great book, and this is the sister book, if you're really interested as an educator of deep diving into design thinking and creativity, I recommend picking up Michael's book. Oh yeah, so that's
sure. Okay, I'm trying to do this. It's so awkward to do. Can you see the ideate?
I do see ideate.
Okay, so there we go.
So Zombie, a Design Thinker, is about a little zombie. So I had the zombie theme book, and I was like, oh man, you know what? Zombies get such a bad rap. And you get toward the end of the book, and we get to Warm Bodies. And Warm Bodies is one of the zombie films to where the zombie actually kind of becomes the protagonist. He's not so much the antagonist anymore. He's trying, to help, and he falls in love with the girl, and it's like a parody also of Romeo and Juliet, or a modern day version because it's R and J. And Zombies, the Disney movie came out, so my kids love that.
Right.
They're all about that, and I love how that movie kind of ties in with what I was trying to do with Zombie Zip. So he's the protagonist of the story instead of the antagonist, and he's trying to change his narrative by helping solve world problems instead of being the problem. So what? Oh, Linda! Hi, Linda.
Yes. Thank you for joining us, Linda. Yeah, awesome. I will say, I'll interrupt you for just a second. That so last year when I had a babysitter with my 5 kids, and it was during the school day, so I had left this book for them to read. And the babysitter, who also has kids, loved this book so much. She thought it was such a great concept. She ordered it right then because she wanted one for her own. And our copy is very well loved. So I want to say congratulations on this. This is a great concept. And what I love about these kinds of books is that while it is directed for kids, like it teaches us too, kind of how to, when we were in college learning how to be teachers, I don't know. I don't know. You're a little younger than me, but they didn't teach us about STEM and how to, to integrate all of that. This is a newer thing for some of us who've been around for a while. And so these are great ways to learn yourself. It's like personalized PD, but it's also fun because this is a book for kids and it's fun. It's not boring. So you can be learning yourself through this. And we have another good friend, Tyson. Hey, Tyson, thank you for joining us. You guys are on your way to getting a free copy if you comment, and the more you comment, the more likely you will to win one of our copies tonight. But I'm sorry, I did interrupt you. What were you? I don't know, you probably don't even remember.
I don't, but I do want to mention that both of these books are augmented. So they're in addition to reading the book, you can experience the book as well. So the cover, for example, if you scan this in the beginning of each chapter, my avatar comes to life and kind of gives you a preview or talks to you, front loads you with what it's going to be for. And when I was creating this, it was one of the first augmented reality education books in education. I want to give a shout out to Ready Learner One with Reality Bites. They had one that came out through DVC as well. But in Teaching Land, I tried to, instead of paying a company to create this augmented experience, that teachers would be like, oh, wow, that's cool, but I can't do that. I tried to use tools, some which have come and gone, RIP, HP Reveal. I'm trying to do my crosshair. HP Reveal, but the dust that there's been like iJack and other companies who've come up. But I use Thing. Tyson's trying to win now. I use Thing, which is a great app. Artivive. Every chapter begins with a kind of like a graphic novel-y feel. And when you scan those pages with Artivive, the artwork comes to life, and that is to kind of act as like a hook. So this is The Infection. I don't know if you guys have seen Cooties, but it's a zombie-themed elementary school movie where all of the kids become infected and the teachers are like barricaded, and it's hilarious. It's definitely a type B film, but I highly recommend it. But these are augmented with digital content, and even Zombie, a design thinker, if you scan using Metaverse, it'll read the book to you. And I designed that in mind, thinking about the sustainable development goals, quality education. How can we reach kids out, that don't have that one-on-one help or parents to read books to them? Right. They have the devices. There's a device somewhere. So even struggling readers can scan this and have it read to them. So
I love that. And Linda says, looking forward to the AR experiences from Quivervision and Markertown. Aren't we both, Linda? Yes. So I would highly recommend this for teachers and parents for their kids. I mean, this is great. Right now, I think too, something that I'm trying to enforce, I was going to say enforce, but that sounds terrible. What is the word? I'm trying to encourage my kids to create something. Like, we have some time on our hands right now. Like, what do we have? Cereal boxes. What can we create? And they love technology, but there's ways to create with technology and just with, the tangible objects and then combine it together. So I love this book, and it gives the steps of just, making something, inventing something, and then going through the prototype and ideating and coming back where it's okay to make mistakes. All of that is embraced in this story, and with a very lovable character. And I love it also because it goes along with the ideas of service learning. So if you're into service learning and creating things that make life better for others, this is definitely a book that you want in your library. We've got people talking. Yeah, Jennifer says, looks like a fantastic book. Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
So there's Teaching Land. So this is my teacher book, professional development teacher book. And then Zombie, a design thinker, which I know Linda has that one. So, and then Marker Town, which she just mentioned, is coming out. So, let's
Well,
talk a little bit about
let's
Marker
talk
Town.
about it. Yeah. All right.
So,
Okay, tell us about Marker Town. I'm so excited. Well, first of all, let me say something. I love this book. Um, I like your other two books a lot, like especially the zombie design. I love this so much. However, I got to say that I am actually in love with Marker Town. I've got to see it not when you first started, but just in the last couple of years, you've kind of gone through this metamorphosis of it. You are a crazy, amazing person. You're an entrepreneur, educator, mother, wife. You're a chef, like you, a designer, a consultant, a speaker. There's so many things that you have in your tool belt, and now you're an illustrator as well. And I have to say that I love your illustrations. They are amazing.
yeah.
And I'm so glad that you chose to do your illustrations this time around, because they are remarkable. And I can't wait to talk more about it. So come on, tell us all about it.
So it's funny, and I mentioned this Monday night in 2017. I came up with the concept of, oh, yep, thank you, Linda. I saw that you backed Marker Town, but I came up with the concept of Marker Town because I was tired of my kids getting these brand new boxes of markers, and then I'd go down back to school, and before they even had their first day, they'd opened them, drawn a picture, and then the caps are off, and it would bring me great
Sure.
frustration. So I finally told them, I'm like, I'm gonna anthropomorphize these markers. I'm gonna personify them, and you're gonna feel so. Oh, you made your own. I'm like, you're gonna feel
Yeah, I mean,
so bad for these little markers without their caps. What? Show us what you got
I
there.
feel that pain. Well, I'm just saying yes, because we're in my schoolroom right now, and I feel the pain because I get upset with that too. This is a story of every mom and teacher, frustration.
Yeah. So
So yeah,
you've got a motley marker there. So
a
to
motley
kind
marker.
A motley marker. So the motley markers, they don't go back in the boxes. They go to Castaway Cove. So
You
Castaway
know what?
Cove is the bin.
Hold that thought. I'm actually going to bring it up. I'm going to share the screen, and you're going to, because I feel like we have motley markers. So let's show everybody what it's all about. And let's see. Okay, you guys are going to love this. Here we go. Okay, here's Marker Town. And now you were talking about the motley markers, correct?
Yes, the motley markers. So the
Okay.
motley markers are down in the bin, which I might not have included. Did I include the motley marker? Oh, right there, 20, slide 20.
Okay, great. Here we go.
Okay, so okay. So Mrs. Cherry is right here, and I love Mrs. Cherry. This is the Motley marker bin. You know, the art cart where you have the students who have their boxes of markers, but then the miscellaneous markers and the ones that aren't put away or left out or don't have a cap and they get a new cap, they go in the bin, they go in the jars. There's a place for them, but they don't get as much love. They've been loved on, and then once they go in the bin, they don't necessarily get picked first because it's the shiny pick boxes that are new and complete that get inked on a colorless sheet. So Miss Cherry is here with her little band of her motley crew. And no, they don't have guitars or band hair, but that might be a future book. The Motley Crew, Mark. No, but I also paid tribute to some of my favorite tech tools because this is a classroom and a teacher's classroom. You know, we love stickers and swag, which I have stickers and swag to give away as well. So I have Scratch, Flipgrid, love to Ann at Flipgrid, Buncee, which Rochelle is a huge fan of, and then Book Creator. And then I have a Virtual World Society sticker there, which you guys probably don't know a lot about, but you should. They're all about learning living rooms and bringing virtual reality learning experiences to kids. But these motley markers, to kind of back up and tell you why we have these motley markers and their place in the story, is in the beginning, all of these markers are going home after a hard day of work and play, drawing art with little hands. If you'll back up to
Yeah. Tell me which slide.
back up to slide 7.
All
So
right.
they're looking at the art that they've created and they're getting ready to go home. And this page is actually an augmented reality page. So we actually invite students to come in and draw on the book. So this isn't a passive, consuming a story thing. There's going to be a spot on the cover that has the, Amanda Fox, writer and illustrator, but then down at the bottom, the augmented reality artist, and they get to write their name because they're part of this book. Their art's going to live here. And if you are a teacher and you have a classroom copy, all of the pages are downloadable for coloring and creation. But once you draw here, the artwork pops up, and they can see their artwork in augmented reality. There's an art lesson that goes with it. And then they can change the style of the work, whether it's Van Gogh, Matisse, or Edward Munch. So they get an art lesson here. They get to see their art transformed in the style of other artists. And then my kids' artwork is in the background right here. So that there's drawings in the back, the glitter pooping unicorn, that's my daughter Bridget. And then I have Finn's name on the desk. My daughter Rowan, her artwork is up top. And then I'm pretty sure Bridget helped Connor with that dinosaur in the background. Yeah, but those are my kids' artwork. And there's Markertown artists for $75 up until yesterday. You could have your child's artwork featured in the back of the book. On the gallery page, I have a big cork board that spans 2 pages. So today I'm going to give away a spot for someone who has a kid to put their art in the book, somebody who's listening. So awesome. If that's something, if you have a child and you are in, if you have a kid that would love to see their art featured on the back of Markertown, just comment, drop something in the comments, and we will pick someone randomly. But all the markers are going home, and the classics are going to Colorful Court. The highlighter is Neon Bay, but there's a glitter marker who loses her top, and she's getting ready to go home.
Do you want me to tell me when to switch to a different?
Oh, we're good right now. Yeah. So the gold is the glitter pen, the glitter marker here, and then the pink one over here is Sassy and Rude. So if you switch to slide 9, this is the dry eraser walking the boardwalk before dark for some dry erase, or for some Friday night fun and some rides in the park. So this is the concept page. This isn't the final page. And then I have Flipgrid Love because we have Flipgrid warm-ups in our classrooms where students take quotes, famous quotes Friday, and they have to. So I'm embedding content for teachers to pull, like authentic, like organic lessons that they can pull from this. But the Ferris wheel is going to come to life because we partnered with Quiver Vision. They're an augmented reality company in New Zealand. And when you scan, the kids get to color the page. And when they scan it, it actually breaks apart into a simple machine, and it teaches about simple machines. And there's actually a STEM kit that I'm building now that comes with a build your own Ferris wheel that will be like something later on. All of these STEM connections, I'm trying to create as many connections as I can for teachers to kind of run with it. But this is not a book just for educators. This book, Zombie, a Design Thinker, Teaching Land, they were written for educators. Markertown is a book for every kid and every parent that's out there. It is a legit kids book. It is a story that was not written to facilitate any specific content or curriculum. It was a story written for the sake of telling a story. And I think the message, as we go through it, as I convey the message, you'll kind of understand. But page 10, so the pink, or slide 10, the pink marker is kind of a jerk. So at this point, I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to read the excerpt. So they're going home, the dry erase are walking before dark, the classics carpooled to Colorful Court, the flare pens went to their artsy resorts. Those 2 glitter markers went back to their pack. The pink glitter pen told the gold to turn back. You don't have a cap now, you must stay behind. I'm perfect, I'm shiny, you're no longer our kind. In no time at all, you'll lose that rich shade, and just like your ink, your value will fade. Glitter stood for a minute or two. Glitter stood for a minute, not sure what to do, when out bellowed pink with an insult or two. Move along, measly markers, you capless, crass, crude. And though the ink was so shiny, the words were so rude. They sparkled and shimmered in prismatic pink, but the shrill of her words made the ugliest of ink. So here, if you go to the next slide, slide 11, she's bellowing out, and the ink is beautiful. It's this beautiful, glitzy, rich color, but the words are just, they're like vibrating with rudeness and ugliness. And the message is you can be the prettiest person you can be, but that can change with your actions and your words. And one of the beautiful things we're doing with this page is the kids through augmented reality get to rewrite Glitter's or Pink's actions. So there will be a quote board, and instead of her being so so crass and so rude, we get to ask kids, what should she have done, or what could she have done differently? Because she's lost her cap, and instead of being like, "Ugh, well, you're not perfect anymore," what could she have done differently? And the kids get to write a different action path or different course of action for Pink, and then they get to see it in augmented reality. They get to see the words match the beauty of her color. So
I love that. I thought you were going to say because she's so crappy, and I thought you stopped yourself and made me chuckle. But
she's so crappy.
But I gotta say, I didn't wear Pink. Yeah, she's not my favorite character by any means, and so that's why I'm giving a nod tonight to the black marker and also glitter marker. I don't know if you can see I'm wearing the colors of my team tonight. So yeah. So it doesn't end on this bad note. And I love that so much, the concept that you can be beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, especially with how you relate to people and talk to people, you can be absolutely ugly. And that's something we talk about at home all the time. So I'm looking forward to the conversations that come about reading this story with my kids.
Absolutely. And I think my grandmother said it best when she said, beauty's only skin deep, but ugly's to the bone.
Yeah, it's to the heart. Yeah, like, and I love that you are giving the opportunity to, like, redo this, because, that's what life is about too. Hopefully a lot of us will get some second chances. We don't always get the second chance, but hopefully when we do, we'll make it better. So
absolutely.
I love that.
So as the story continues, if you want to go to slide 15.
Okay, but this is my favorite slide. We just pay tribute to this, and then we'll talk about 15. I love this. This is my favorite. I want a poster. I really do. I want a poster like this, okay?
So
okay. All right.
That slide, yeah, you can go back. That slide actually pays tribute to Louisville, Kentucky. So we have this amazing walking bridge. And when I first moved here, there were a lot of LGBT rights parades, stuff going on. And the first thing I noticed when I moved here was that they had lit the bridge up in a rainbow, and it was meant to be all-inclusive shout out. And I looked at my husband, Patrick, and I was like, I think I'm going to like it here. And then it snowed, but that's a different story. Yeah, I know, snow and weather.
Oh, sorry.
No, Louisville has definitely become my home. I'm a Georgia girl. I always will be. But in the last year or two, I think I've really found my people. Matter of fact, a dear neighbor today came by and gave me this. And I kind of want to talk about the creative process and creative people and publishing books, just that artsy process. And he gave this to me, and it says, nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan, press on, has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. So I
love that.
He gave this to me because Markertown's been a project close to my heart for the last 3 years. And when I first started, I kind of told him the story the other day. When I first started Markertown, I had a friend tell me, I said I was going to illustrate it. And he looked at me and he's like, Amanda, you might want to find someone else to illustrate the book. The story is so beautiful, and I don't know your illustrations will match the story. And that kind of hurt, like I lost lots of sleep over that. And it ended up being one of the most motivational pieces of information or advice anyone's ever told me, because he was right. My illustrations did not match at that time. And And even now, like we know like what's good, and I was here, and what I wanted was here. And Ira Glass has this great video, which if you want to drop it in the comments, it's on being creative.
Yeah, I will as soon as we get through this, because I can only, like, I can't see you right now.
Okay.
So that's one of the
Okay.
drawbacks of sharing. So, but anyway, let's talk about this next illustration, and then we'll go back to that. I know you wanted to talk about glitter.
Yeah, the process. I'm very great at digressing. So
Aren't we all?
so the glitter marker here has lost her cap. She's been dismissed by her friends, and she's feeling kind of orphaned, and she doesn't know who or where home is. So she starts looking for her cap, and she's looking for it everywhere. She's retracing her steps, and then if you go to slide 18, which I hid the slide. Let me see if I
yeah,
can.
you did hide it. You did hit it.
I did hit it. I'm not sure where to go.
It's not letting
Hide it. Okay. Well, just 16. So slide 16 kind of is where they pick up, and Miss Orange on Blue comes to the rescue. She's a Motley Crue marker. She once too lost her top, and she looks at glitter, and she's like, you know, you shouldn't be blue. I have friends you should meet, though they're not all together. They're no less complete. They found a new calling. I'm sure you can too. You still have a purpose. There's lots you can do. So they doodled along, drawing stars in the sky, and for a brief time she forgot she might dry. Before glitter's gold seemed less brilliant and bright. Together, their work took their hues to new heights. So I wanted to put something in here about friends who help illuminate you and light you up when you need to be lit up. And they're not competing with your ink. They're complementing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's one of the things I see, especially with middle school children. They're constantly competing. And even my elementary kids, my kindergarten and my second grader, they're constantly competing. And life's not a competition. It's not.
Right.
And Pink had that attitude in the pack, and always competing to see whose ink stood out brighter. And here she meets Miss Orange on Blue, and as they're drawing, she noticed her gold against the blue and how they kind of complement each other. And then she turns around and she tells Glitter, you know, this is what good friends do. They compliment you. And she takes him she basically says, come with me. I think you'll like the rest of my friends. So she takes him to Castaway Cove, and she meets this motley crew of markers, and she meets all of these markers who don't need their cap. They have so much value, and they're contributing beyond what they're able to draw. And she starts like seeing new purpose and having new meaning. And basically, so when she got to the bend, with the Castaway crew, she met markers that shine past the ink that they drew. Welcome to Castaway Cove, said a marker in Cherry, Miss Cherry. And though her ink had no smell, she was nonetheless merry. So here's a marker whose sole purpose was to be a scented marker. And she can still draw, but she's got no smell. And she's just the merriest marker of them all. She's just like, so she's like the epitome of unbridled optimism. And that marker, there's been so
I should have
many
worn
people-
red.
Melody, you are Miss Cherry. You are unbridled optimism. You are one of my biggest cheerleaders. And my neighbors, Jeff and Jennifer, if you're watching, thank you so much. Just people who support you. Like this story is more than just about markers. It's a story of support, finding your people, and finding new purpose, and realizing your self-worth doesn't come from what other people say about you. It starts from within.
Right.
So, and like to get toward the end, should I give away the ending?
I mean, I love it. I don't think it's giving away anything.
Okay.
What is your gut thing? Go with your gut.
Let's do it. Okay, so everyone watching.
All right, wait. This is an unveiling. This is an unveiling. This is amazing. First time seen publicly, right?
Yes, it is. It is.
Oh, so nervous. Okay, what slide do I go to?
Oh no. Go to and this is just a concept drawing, not the final drawing. Go to slide 22.
Okay. Oh, I wonder, do I have 22?
Yes,
Oh,
you
I
do.
do. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay.
Before you say, this is why I am wearing gold and black tonight for these
Okay.
two.
For these two. Okay.
Yes.
So after she's met all these markers, one that has a split top, one that is now in jars, and now it's like spray. So there's STEM projects embedded in. These are markers. These are things that you can upcycle. How to upcycle your markers. But when we get here, Sharpie, or not so sharp, obviously he's based on a Sharpie, shows up with his permanent kindness. And an elderly marker, watch glitter and blue.
His permanent kindness.
His permanent kindness, yeah.
Love
As he slowly approached them, his ink barely drew. You need a new cap to save your ink, said the sage. Then he offered her his. Here, I've drawn my last page. Glitter wasn't quite certain what she should say. I couldn't accept it. Is there no other way? He turns around and says, my lines went sharp. Through the years, they've grown dimmer. It would give me great joy to preserve your gold shimmer. So there's been some edits there, which we'll talk about that later. Oh, my Lord. So she put on the cap and she smiled at her friends. Not so sharp you shine from your virtue within. You're also special. You taught me to see the value of friendship, the value of me. You would have accepted me, lost cap and all, but now you've given me the gift to continue to draw. Your ink can be sparkle, be dim or be bold. Acceptance starts within, and all that glitters is not gold.
Love it.
And then
you can't see this, but my eyes are filled with tears. I had goosebumps all over. Like, I absolutely adore this. This is so beautiful. The metaphor, the compassion, the willingness to share and cheer somebody else on. I got to tell you, like, this is beautiful, and I love this so much.
And this wasn't meant.
This
wasn't meant to be like a self-sacrifice. Not so sharp. Right. Not self. It's handing down traits and qualities and teaching goodness to the next generation. So he basically, his kindness is going to be preserved through her shimmer. So the cap is going to give another generation of marker the ability to impact and touch the world and make it shine. So there was some edits initially where she vowed to be permanently kind, and I think that made the cut. But like that's kind of where I was going with that. And then we don't end with poor Sharpie, completely sacrificing. Go to page 24, slide 24, if you can.
Okay. Sure.
So when we go here, it's not so sharp, and he's headed off to be recycled. So in the end, we promote upcycling and recycling, and there are STEM projects in the book to where you can upcycle markers into different things, but also it teaches kids about recycling and TerraCycle. They're a platform that has allowed me to use some of their content. They are partnering with me to create videos to kind of show what happens at a recycling place and what happens to the markers and where they go. And we're talking about augmenting this page as well to some degree. So
okay, let me stop. Let me stop you for a second. Because there's going to be a lot of people who are not educators watching this. So, augmented means that she has the ability to make this with technology come to life. So every time she talks about augmented reality, it's like, well, I mean, even non-educators know about this, but I don't think I would have known about this had I not been in education. But that's such an amazing concept of your book, is allowing it to come to life, and also partnering with so many different companies that are doing good things in this world. So I love that. I had to stop you and shout you out for that.
So you can bet your bottom dollar there's going to be a Earth Day marker sculpture challenge or some sort of marker Earth Day activity. How are we upcycling, recycling, and what are we doing to make the world better?
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna exit out of this, and I'm gonna see if there's anybody that is commenting. I want to catch up. Oh, we have so many comments. Oops, and okay. Let's see how many people are commenting. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a hard competition. Okay. Okay. Let's see. We can all relate to the missing caps. Yes, Linda
Uh,
says. Linda says dash. And
yes. Emerge. I
Mars.
see. I paid tribute to the companies who've made me the educator I am, or to tools that I use that are dear to my heart. Dash and Dot, definitely. Yeah. So Linda Edwards.
Yes. Yes, and Marcia joined, and Tyson. Yes. Oh my gosh, and I probably missed. And so we'll get that. Let's do one of our drawings right now. Okay. Um, you will tell me. I'm going to go back to the first. I'm just going to go through the different comments, and when you say stop, whoever it lands on gets which book.
We're gonna start with Teaching Land.
All right. So hold it up. And this drawing right now, or actually this is for Teaching Land. So okay, ready? Here I go.
Do I just say stop whenever?
Yeah, when you say stop, it's on the comment that
Stop.
it lands on. Okay, I am on this comment. All right, so Linda Edwards, you get Teaching Land.
Yay.
Awesome. And so, well, if we did say within the United States. So, what happens if they're not within the United States?
That's fine.
Is there like
a anyway?
Is there like? I was gonna say, is there a Kindle version?
I'll send it anyway.
Okay.
I'll send it anyway.
All right. Okay,
The
and
Kindle
now
version doesn't do justice with the AR. You really need the book.
all right, you are awesome. Okay, and so now we actually are going to go. I'm going to share my screen again, and if you love this book, I'm going to show you the Marker Town Kickstarter. Tell us why you chose Kickstarter as I pull it up.
So I chose Kickstarter because a lot of times an author goes through this whole journey with their book, and then time they publish it, that's when the relationship with the reader starts. I wanted to develop that relationship earlier, and I wanted to give the community opportunities to come in and become part of the book. So the different rewards allow backers to name a marker. I have 2 markers left. There's 8 out of 10 that are sold. So there's a green marker and a brown marker that can still be named. There is the opportunity to have your kids' artwork put in. There's another opportunity to have a custom marker drawn for you. So my neighbor bought the custom marker, and he's a big Cardinals fan and a big bourbon fan. So you can bet your bottom. Oh, I say that a lot. I'm like little orphan Annie over here.
I'm trying to get to the part. I can't. How come I'm not scrolling? Oh, there we go. There we go. There's scrolling.
The rewards.
This is the different. Yeah. If you're not familiar with Kickstarter, so you're different pledges, and you can even pledge an amount and not get anything back. But if the different pledges is what she's talking about, and so you get these rewards with each of them. So yes, and here's an educator's package for anybody who is thinking about this. It's $50. Get everything listed above. So all the already stated rewards. And I want to say too that you are more than halfway to. Okay, now I've lost. And this is on the ticker. If you're wondering where can you go, it's bit.ly/MarkerTown, and I have it going across the bottom of the screen. Oh, I'm doing the wrong. See, but I wanted to show that you have to meet your goal. What happens, like, to get completely backed? You have to meet your goal, correct?
Right. So I can't. So the goal is $5,000, and all of that's going to go to bulk purchasing of the book, marketing, and I've got plushies that are being made. So I have a plushie of each of the characters, and their caps are Velcro. So you can change the caps and make your own Motley Marker crew, use them as puppets, have them tell their own story. Yeah. So, but $5,000 is the goal. We're at $2,294. If the goal is not met, then all money is refunded. It goes back to the backers, and the project doesn't come to completion. So it's important to reach the goal, which is why
But it's going to happen.
Yeah, it is. It's going to happen. It will happen. I know it will.
We're going to, right. I believe it's going to happen. I mean, it's only been live for a week, and you already are halfway there. And so I want to just tell everybody, like, this is a really worthy project to back. I mean, you can back it with $5, $10. It doesn't have to be much, but this is something that you can be a part of that really is going to make a difference for the people who read it. And I'm excited. I love this project. I love it. And I believe in it 100%. And so I just encourage you to go to bit.ly/MarkerTown and look this up, see what you want to do. Oops. So yes, I am. And I want to see if there's any more comments coming on. Okay. So do you want to do a giveaway for your next book?
Throw the markers away if the cap doesn't match. Tyson, shame on you.
Tyson, I think that, yes. Okay.
Oh,
so here, do we want to do another giveaway?
Let's do another giveaway.
Okay,
we're
let
gonna
me go back to the top.
Zombie a design thinker.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the top of the comments. So you've got a couple of seconds. If you're watching and you want to be into this, you know what? You can do this. Like, start commenting. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds. Start commenting. And tell us again, what did you say about the people that, like you were going to offer a parent tonight who wanted to showcase work? Tell us a little bit about that so people can comment.
So anyone, or even their artwork. So anyone who has kids and they're a budding artist, I have a corkboard gallery in the back of the book, and it's the custom marker artist page, and we can take that artwork and we can put it and publish it and print it in the back of the book. Their name will be in the book, and once the book arrives, it'll be like, oh wow, they've gotten their artwork in. And then make sure we'll stay in touch and send a copy of Markertown when it comes out too. So
awesome. All right. So that gave some people some extra time to comment. And okay, I'm starting at the top. So you say stop.
Stop.
And that person is Jennifer Kleinman.
Yay. So she gets a copy of Zombie, a Design Thinker. So
nice, Jennifer. Awesome. So we've got two people that have won tonight, Linda Edwards and Jennifer. Thank you. And Tyson, if you want to get your artwork featured, I'm sure you can make a comment and she will, if you're into artwork, that might be a prize for you because he was trying really hard. We are so glad for everybody who's watching. So thank you.
So with all the comments Tyson sent in, let's just go ahead and say Tyson won the artwork feature for a kid. So,
all right, Tyson. So, and you said, like, if it's a child, you have, or your artwork, there we go. You have one tonight too, our friend. So
awesome.
Tell us, okay. So there's your bit.ly/MarkerTown. How else can we follow you, or where would you like people to? Where do you showcase what you're doing?
So I am on Twitter at Amanda Fox STEM. I'm probably most active there. I'm also on Facebook. I have a group for Teaching Land, but really I accept all follows. Just find Amanda Fox on Facebook. It's the space, and then I have a little, clone of me right behind my daughter Bridget in the photo. Stick figures do count. They do, Tyson. So just at Amanda Fox STEM or at Amanda Fox Populi on Instagram, which Instagram is mostly my kitchen creations, not my literary creations. So yeah.
That's so cool. And I got to say, like, following you is pretty amazing. You do so much. You're so multi-talented. It's unreal. It's just crazy. And I hope that you will follow her on Twitter. If you're on Twitter at Amanda Fox STEM, and definitely check out Markertown's Kickstarter. We need your support to get this project completely funded. And we hope that you'll be a part of this project. There's a lot of awards that are still coming. Like, some of them are finishing out after the first week, but you still have awards coming in, correct?
I do. There's another one that starts on, I think, the 19th, next Monday. So tune in to see what it is. I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. Tag me if like, yeah. Okay. And you also said really quick, we're going to go in just a few minutes, but you sent me a link and I want to mention it here. I'm going to drop it in the comments. What is this about? Tell us a little bit about this one that you created.
So I was talking about my friend telling me I should reconsider illustrating my book, and it made me think of Ira Glass. Ira Glass has this 2-minute video. It's a typography video where the text just pops up and it has this quote. And he says on being creative, like we all have this idea of what good is and where we're at, and good, good is here and we're about here. And he essentially says that you don't start here. You have to work.
Right.
You're going to create crap. You're going to write massive volumes of crap. I'm saying crap now. And the point is that perseverance, which is why I brought up this persistence. So you have to be persistent. You have to draw. You have to continue to draw. You have to write. You have to continue to write. I thought my version of Marker Town was close to done, and then I handed it over to a professional editor, and I'm 6 more edits in after already being 12 in before I handed it to her. And it's gotten better every time. So it's willing to edit, it's willing to learn, it's willing to make volumes of crap. I don't care if you've written 50 books, the first draft is not going to be as good as the last. So it's going through that iterative process, and it's understanding that we have to be persistent in order to make great things. And I show that to my kids, whether I'm teaching film, digital media, or literature, that we don't start here. We don't start great. We have to become it. And that is a journey.
I love that. I love that so much. I am so thrilled that you joined me tonight. Number one, I want to say congratulations on all of your books. But I am absolutely in love with Marker Town. I can't wait to hold it in my hands, read it to my kids, and talk about it with them. And I really hope that anybody who's watching tonight will go to bit.ly/MarkerTown and see if you want to support this project. The illustrations, and this is your first time illustrating a book that's being published. Your illustrations are phenomenal. They are beautiful. Yeah. Like I hope that you're going to have posters, because I want to win a poster. Okay.
There are posters. So anyone who gets a poster with the book ships. So
awesome. And before we go, Linda says, I remember you were working on Marker Town after Zombie Design. It is a long road to publishing. Yes.
Actually started Marker Town before Teaching Land, and before I ever thought about writing a Teaching Land. I mean, I didn't even know at that time that I would ever do that. I was more kid focused from the beginning. So yeah, it's come to fruition. It's been a 3-year journey, and we are here. So.
And I want to say that's scary. Like offering your heart up to the world is so absolutely scary. So kudos to you again for putting your heart out in your words, because it is a beautiful rhyme. And also your illustrations, they're just gorgeous. It's from your heart. I can clearly see that. Again, I'm on team glitter and black. Like I just, I love the message of the story. And again, I can't wait. So thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you everybody, whether you tuned in from Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you joined us tonight. Thank you again, and check this wonderful book out. Amanda, we'll see you soon. I know that we're going to go live in the Alice Keeler community this weekend. So look forward to talking with you again soon. Thank you so much for joining tonight. And thank you, Linda and Tyson and everyone who commented. We appreciate we always appreciate the conversation. So thank you.
And now everyone make sure you compliment Melody's amazing ability to host, but her bangs. She's got bangs. She didn't have bangs on Monday. Yeah, I'm totally loving the bangs. So drop in.
You're killing me. It's all right. I got a lot of love on I showed everybody my bangs. I'm okay with my bangs. But yeah, you're the first author to come and sit down with me with my new bangs. Oh, thank you, Linda. She's so sweet. Yes, thank you.
No, they look great.
I'm glad you won, Linda. Thank you. Thank you. I have really enjoyed this, and I enjoy your work. I believe in you. So this was wonderful. Everybody take care, and we'll see you again next week, maybe. We'll see how the world is working next week. That's all I'm going to say. So bye, everybody. Bye, Amanda.
Bye. Thank you, guys.